Consumer spending rose 0.6% in August, the largest increase in 4 months. But falling home prices, rising gasoline costs, and a decline in available credit may hurt the U.S. consumer over the next few months. Question is the consumer resilient enough to uphold the economy? Well, for the answer to that one, we want to go ask Office Depot Chairman and CEO Steve Odland. Welcome to you, Steve. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, you know, it's amazing because as we look at all the problems out there, shaky credit markets, housing downturn, weaker earnings, higher oil, the consumer still seems to be holding on. How long can it last?
Well, it is surprising for both the consumer and the small businesses. They're under a lot of stress right now. Fuel prices have taken money out of their pocketbook as that continues to go up. Food prices also have continued to go up, both with the dairy shortage as well as grain prices as a derivative of the ethanol planting. So what you have is non-discretionary spending continue to be pressured here. People don't have a choice of driving, and they don't have a choice of eating. So you have those pressures.
Yeah, you
now,
have
the place
the
where small business.
Forgive me. Go ahead.
Well, and so the place where both the consumer and small businesses have turned to over the past half-dozen years has been the housing area. And they've been taking equity out of their homes as well as relying on refinancings to lower their average monthly costs, and now that has dried up. So there's a considerable amount of pressure on here, and the question is, how long can it hold up?
Yeah, that is the thing, because interestingly, you know, we got retail sales for the month of September. Those were up about 0.6%. So rather positive news there. Consumer spending, you know, we've seen, at least for August, was up 0.6%. Good news there. What are you seeing in terms of your business at Office Depot? Have you seen any kind of pullback?
Well, we have seen a slowdown, both on the consumer side as well as on the small business side. And this has been, you know, small businesses act more like consumers. Their traditional source of financing is more like consumers, and they think more like consumers. And so we're worried about this as we go into the holiday season. I think that Treasury Secretary Paulson is doing the right thing by trying to provide liquidity to the market. And I think the Fed is trying to do the right thing by providing a shot of liquidity. And clearly, they're worried about it as we go into the holiday season. And the question is that going to be enough to move people through this period of time?
Yeah.
The backlog of housing is a critical issue.
Part of the key to consumer spending, of course, is employment. People need to have jobs and be employed in order to go out there and feel confident enough to shop and spend money. Given the weaker earnings picture that we're seeing, would you say that the outlook for the job market has grown weaker?
I think it has. First of all, it doesn't show up in the numbers yet, but you have about 150 million people employed in this country, but there are about 12 million undocumented workers. And with the housing market contracting, I think you see a lot of people out of the undocumented workforce. And so it's not showing up in the numbers yet, but that has a ripple effect into the economy with the small businesses. And then eventually the question is whether that's going to impact large business spending. And as that happens with small businesses, you're going to see less job creation, which all happens at the small end of the market, and then whether that spills into cost cutting elsewhere in the market.
Okay, well, our thanks to you, Steve Odland, Chairman and CEO of Office Depot. We appreciate you taking the time.